Hey Commanders fans! Before we jump into today's can't miss story, do us a quick favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily updates here at Commanders HQ. Now let's talk about a player who could either anchor the defense or blow a major hole in it. We're talking about Marshian Latimore, the four-time Pro Bowl cornerback the Commanders gave up multiple picks to acquire. But what if? And we hate to even ask this, he's past his prime? When GM Adam Peters pulled the trigger at last year's deadline to bring in Latimore from the Saints, the reaction around the league was mixed. Some said it was bold, others said it was risky. The cost? A third, fourth, and sixth round pick. The reward? A potential shutdown corner to complete Dan Quinn's new-look defense. But now, just a few months removed, questions are starting to bubble to the surface. John Pluim from Sports Illustrated recently asked the question no fan wants to hear. What if Marshian Latimore's best days are behind him? And the truth is, it's a fair question. Let's take a hard look at the facts. Latimore is only 29, not old by NFL standards, but he's played in just 26 games over the last 3 seasons. That's due to a string of injuries, most notably to his hamstrings, which are a nightmare for any cornerback, especially one who relies on burst, change of direction, and top-end speed. When healthy, Latimore has locked down the best in the game. But when is the key word? Joining a new scheme. Mid-season while still rehabbing an injury isn't easy. Even Adam Peters admitted that. He said it takes corners time to adjust, especially in a system like Dan Quinn's that asks a lot from its DBs, both mentally and physically. So the Commanders are betting that a full off-season, a full training camp, preseason reps, the whole nine, will get Marshian back to the guy who made Mike Evans disappear twice a year. Now let's talk money. Latimore is set to make $18.5 million this season, a number that makes some fans uncomfortable given the question marks. But here's the thing. Washington isn't hurting for cap space. They've got room to be patient. In fact, if they did decide to move on after the 2025 season, they'd save $34.5 million over the next 2 years with just $2 million in dead cap. That's manageable, and it gives the team leverage. So, no, Latimore isn't playing for his life. But make no mistake, he is playing for his future in DC Dan Quinn's. Defense is built on trust, communication, and accountability. He doesn't just want guys who can play. He wants guys who can lead. The front office brought in veterans like Bobby Wagner and Laramie Tunsil, not just for their skill, but for their voice in the locker room. Latimore, he needs to show he can be one of those guys too. And honestly, all signs from Ashburn are encouraging. He's been active during early workouts, fully engaged, and is reportedly ahead of schedule physically. There's hope inside the building that Latimore will be a different player this season, healthy, locked in, and ready to prove the doubters wrong. Because when he's right, there are few corners in the league better at mirroring receivers, playing physical at the line, and tracking the deep ball. And here's the twist in all of this. While some are questioning Latimore's future, ESPN insider John Keim is doubling down on the Commanders as a whole. He's projecting another playoff run for Washington this year. Back-to-back postseason appearances for the first time since 1991-1992. Keim predicts the Commanders will win 3 of their last 4 games, including clutch victories over the Giants, Cowboys, and a split with the Eagles. If that happens, Washington will notch double-digit wins in consecutive years for the first time since the Gibbs era. And let's be honest, if this team finishes hot again, no one is going to be talking about Latimore's contract. They'll be talking about how this defense found its swagger at the perfect time. But just in case things don't go according to plan with Latimore, the Commanders have options. Emmanuel. Forbes showed flashes late last season and has reportedly added 12 pounds of muscle this offseason. Benjamin St-Juste is a capable CB2. And there's buzz about second-year man Quan Martin stepping into a bigger role. Washington could also still add another veteran before training camp, especially if a surprise cut hits the market. But make no mistake, this secondary was built around the idea of Latimore being the alpha. If he plays to his potential, everything else falls into place. If he doesn't, things get a lot more complicated, real fast. It was one of the most talked about moments of last year's NFC title game. Frankie, Luvu leaping over the Eagles' offensive line, not once, not twice, but 3 times, trying to blow up the tush push. And let's be real, the effort was elite. The timing? Not so much. Luvu was called offside 3 straight times, as Philly baited him with hard counts, forcing Washington backwards and eventually into a 1st and goal situation. The play-by-play. Team of Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady couldn't stop laughing, and neither could fans, at least fans who don't bleed burgundy. But if you ask Luvu, the joke's over. He's calling the tush push exactly what he thinks it is, a cheapo. Play. It's pretty much a rugby scrum, and he's not alone. In an interview with NFL Network's Kyle Brandt on Good Morning Football, Luvu laid it all out. He's not mad the Eagles run the play well. He's mad that the rules make it almost impossible to stop. It would be fair if both sides knew when the snap was coming, he said, but with hard counts, they can get you to jump. That's not football, that's trickery. Luvu's point, if it's going to be a scrum, let it be a scrum. Let both sides go at once. But right now, the offense has the advantage in timing, the leverage with formation, and the power with QB Jalen Hurts behind one of the best O-lines in football. So what's the defender supposed to do? Answer: hope the league steps in. Here's where things get interesting. The NFL did review the tush push in the 2024 offseason, but didn't ban it. Then earlier this year, the Green Bay Packers reignited the push to outlaw it, calling it a safety issue with unfair schematic benefits. Now, the issue is expected to go to a vote among the league's 32 owners, possibly before training camp begins. That means this could be the last season we ever see the tush push. And if it isn't, Frankie Luvu and the Commanders will be very busy, figuring out how to stop it. You might be wondering, why don't teams just load the box and blow it up? Great idea, except here's the problem. You can't practice it. Because of the high injury risk to both offensive and defensive linemen, teams don't run the tush push in practice. No live reps, no simulation, no way to truly prep for the real thing. And the Eagles, they run it better than anyone, with a unit that's practiced it for years, and a quarterback in Hurts who squats 600 pounds. So when Washington tried something creative, like Luvu leaping over the center, Philly just countered with hard counts and drew flags. That's how tactical this chess match has become. And that's why Luvu is frustrated. Let's zoom in on what this means for Washington's defense. Frankie Luvu has quickly become one of the cornerstones of Dan Quinn's front 7, and the coaching staff loves his fire, instincts, and versatility. But if the tush push stays legal, and if the Commanders want to beat Philly in 2025, they'll need a new plan. Why? Because Washington faces the Eagles twice in the final 3 weeks of the season, including a likely high-stakes Week 16 showdown. That game could have playoff implications, even seeding. And if it's 4th and 1 late in the 4th quarter, you know what play is coming. So the question becomes, can Washington figure out how to stop it without giving up free yards? Don't sleep on what this moment says about Frankie Luvu as a leader. He's not just a playmaker, he's a voice. He's standing up for defenders league-wide, calling out a flaw in the system. And inside the Commanders' locker room, that attitude matters. This team under Dan Quinn is tough, smart, and connected. Veterans like Luvu are helping set that tone, and fans should be excited about that. Because this isn't just a guy who talks. It's a guy who leads with his play. He'll try to jump over a pile 3 times if it means stopping a 4th down. That's the kind of edge Washington needs in this new era. So here's the question for you, Commanders Nation. Do you believe Marshian Latimore still has elite football left in him? Or did Adam Peters take one gamble too many? Let us know what you think in the comments. Smash that like button if you're riding with Latimore this year, and subscribe to Commander's HQ for more daily content, exclusive analysis, and everything burgundy and gold. We'll keep you updated as OTAs ramp up and training camp gets closer. Because this off-season is just heating up. Thanks for watching, and as always, hail to the Commanders!